And I would be furious at this tweet because it is so dismissive and disrespectful of my Native American, if I were one, heritage. So,
you know, the chewing tobacco called Red Man.
Mm-hmm.
My brother used to chew tobacco.
All right.
Made me think of that when you said Oklahoma.
So obviously he is now re-appealing to the farthest right of his constituency,
yes,
because the farthest right is probably getting sick and tired of Black Lives Matter.
Correct.
And now they're dreading, oh, is it now going to be Native American protests?
Right.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been treated as bad as we have, so they should be out there with us.
A quick history lesson for our president. Remember, George Preston Marshall, who became one of the great bigots, quote-unquote bigots in the history of the National Football League, probably the biggest racist owner in the history of the National Football League. Originally, when he founded the team in Boston, they were called the Boston Braves.
Right.
Well, that's brave. So if you're trying to play it from a position of strength, that would indicate you're nicknaming your team off the Braves, and the whole the term brave is
okay. Yeah, we get that.
We get that.
Yes.
But then that didn't work where they were, so they had to move over to Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox.
Right.
So he got cute and decided, well, what if we rename our team Redskins to go with the Red Sox? Well, at the very least, Redskins is a derogatory term.
Yes.
And I used to hear it in cowboy and quote-unquote Indian movies.
Correct.
Because we're going to get those low-down, no-good Redskins, right?
Yep.
And at very worst, it's just a flat-out racial slur used back in the day in which the white settlers basically declared war on the Native Americans. Right. And many, many lives were lost on both sides, but there were scalps taken both ways. And that was the origin, potentially, of the term Redskins.
That is correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, and then let's get to the Cleveland Indians, shall we? Again, the Native Americans in our country didn't name themselves Indians. Christopher Columbus mistakenly named them Indians because he thought he had landed in the East Indies, Southeast Asia. Chris, you're a little off course here.
A lot of off course.
Okay? Because you've landed in what will become the United States of America.
Right.
But you're a long way from Southeast Asia. But he looks at the indigenous population and he says, aha, these must be Indians, as in East Indians, as in India, right?
Yes.
Wrong. So the name Indians was not, it was forced upon the Native Americans.
Right.
And obviously a lot of them don't love it because they finally said, could you please call us Native Americans?
Right, because this is America, we were native, so we should be called Native Americans.
We were here first.
Exactly.
Correct? So just a little history lesson. So again, I think you lost a lot. If you had any of the votes of our Native American population, I'm afraid you lost them here.
Skip, you know, he has to appeal to what's worked for him in the past. And if you notice, Skip, anytime if it's the Russia, the Mueller investigation, no matter what it might be, he'll always go back and play that race card. He'll always... NASCAR, Bubba Wallace, that was weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now you just bringing this up.
Got it.
Ain't nobody asked you your input on Washington and the name change. Who asked you?
And I must quickly comment on this because Elizabeth Warren went to my high school in Oklahoma City. And she's now the senator for the state of Massachusetts.
Right.
And she did exaggerate her Native American ancestry and heritage because it had her DNA test showed it. You had to go back 6 to 10 generations to find some.
Right.
So she eventually apologized. I think it hurt her some in the presidential nomination race, you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know how. I mean, if you lie, that's how you become president. You just lie.
Well, maybe. But anyway, I think he used this. The favorite part of this tweet was Indians, like Elizabeth Warren, must be very angry right now. And I think he was just using it to poke and prod her one last time.
Because he called her, you know, Pocahontas.
He did. And faux Pocahontas, as in faux.
Yeah.
Right.
He just, and people love that, Skip.
No, I know.
I mean, his face, they love it.
I got it. All right.
I don't get it. I mean, I don't know, Skip, I don't know if there'll ever be another person that will be allowed to do and say what he says, hold that office. There's no way.
Well,
I just pray, and it might not happen but I just pray I'm around, and I want Lindsey Graham, and I want all these Republicans, and I want a Democrat, and I want him to try to run amok. And you watch how fast You watch how fast they come to, Rand Paul, and Tim Scott. Oh, man. Skip, I'm sending money all over the country, Skip. Anybody that's running against Susan Collins,